Mr. Deputy Mayor, Lord, ladies and gentlemen, and children, welcome on behalf of the Mortlake with East Sheen Society, to this unveiling. I'm the new chairman of the Mortlake with East... Can't hear? I'm the new chairman of the Mortlake with East Sheen Society.
Mike.
In the mic. I'm the new chairman of the Mortlake with East Sheen Society. This project has been long in gestation, but was conceived and financed by the
Tim Berners-Lee.
So over the years, past chairmen and committee members have been involved, for which many thanks. The Mortlake with East Sheen Society is always keen to recruit, and this is obviously a plug now, new members. So if you would like to join up, it only costs £10 a year, and it is your local amenity society. So please see a committee member, and they're all wearing labels, or should be. Now, the reason we're all here is that Sir Tim grew up in East Sheen and went to Sheen Mount School, as you knew. Right. So we have to thank not only Sir Tim for being here today, but also his parents, Conway and Mary Lee, for choosing to live in East Sheen. Sensible people. If they hadn't, today would not be happening. Now, I've been told by my wife not any jokes, nothing, keep it straight. But I have one reminiscence that I've been told about this morning, which is that Sir Jim and Joy Catford's daughter knew each other well. Oh, Joy Catford's daughter knew each other well, age 7, was that right? So, now Sir Tim will be taking questions from school children after this presentation, and I'm sure they've got lots of issues to raise. Why a career in science? Was the World Wide Web a flash of inspiration, or was it a result of long research? We'll wait and see what else they've worked out to ask him. I'm also delighted that Sue Edkins is with us today. She's a well-known local artist, and she designed and created the Mosaic, which we're about to unveil. And again, many, many thanks to you, Sue. I'm looking forward... I'm looking forward to seeing it for the first time. I've been offered chances to see it before, but I thought I'd like to experience the first sight with all of you. Like Sir Tim, Sue will take questions from the children afterwards. For example, how did the idea of the design arise? How many pieces are there in the mosaic? I don't know, I'm worried. Better go back, start counting now. Finally, I must... well, there's one other thing I should say. Michael Gove, as you know, has been popular and unpopular in his proposals, but his history redrafted proposal now includes Tim Berners-Lee. One sensible decision, obviously, from Michael Gove. Right. Finally, our thanks must be given to Richmond Council for facilitating the housing of the Mosaic, and for all the hard work different departments have put into this, and in particular Paul Cook and the press office. Right. Now what I'm going to... Oh, I'm too close, I can hear it now. Now what I'm going to do is ask Lord True to say a few words, and then we'll get to the unveiling itself. Thank you, Sean. Can people hear me? Probably.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm really here, I think, to say thank you, first of all, to the Mortlake with East Sheen Society, a wonderful local organisation, volunteers, who put so much back and make things happen in this wonderful community. And I'd like to thank them on behalf of the council, and as councillor, one of the councillors for East Sheen, thank MES for what they've done with Sue to make this possible today. We're very lucky to have them. I'm actually an adopted Sheenite. I'm sort of heading for 35 years as a resident of Sheen, so it's marvellous to meet real Sheenites here, and in particular, obviously, to see Sir Tim and his parents here. And we are enormously proud to have a person of such distinction who is an East Sheen person is proud enough of that to be back here today with us. I think that both the Mortlake with the East Sheen Society, who I've congratulated, and also what Sir Tim did in terms of creating and giving the idea of the World Wide Web to the world, are at opposite ends, the small and the gigantic, the unimaginably gigantic examples of people doing something for other people, for the good of other people, and not for personal gain or satisfaction, which I think is one of the greatest and most important principles of being human, actually. And I think the gesture and the contribution that Sir Tim has made is remarkable in that way, as well as in its scientific way. Heaven knows. When I was the age of all these wonderful young people here and desperate to learn, I used to say to my mother, I'm going off to the local library. I'd trot down to the library and pull down the Encyclopedia Britannica, you remember that, from the shelves, and spend hours finding out things that now I can find at the click of a button. Perhaps it stopped me when I was a child doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, so I was actually spending time looking things up. But what opportunity it's given. So I don't want to say any more. You're not here to hear from me, but on behalf of the community of East Sheen, on behalf of Richmond Council, and in our small way, actually, on behalf of the citizens of the world, as we all are, I'd like to say thank you to Sir Tim and ask him to come forward to unveil this. Right. Well, together. Sorry, I'll duck down. Okay.
Maybe Tim should be at the front.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. They need to rip the whole thing off.
A couple of words now before the questions. A couple of words. Thank you. What an honour it is to have your name up on here. But I've just been called a person of distinction. And one thing I've learned from all this working with people to build the World Wide Web in the first place, and all the excitement that's been around the world of people working together, is we're all people of distinction, because we're all distinct, right? So yeah, I may be labelled as a person of distinction, but you're distinct, and you're distinct. We're all distinct people, and everybody has their distinct talents, everybody has their distinct gifts. One of the magic things about the spread of the web was that everybody put in their own distinct gifts into doing it, and people all over the world who got an internet connection had a go at putting together a website, or had a go at installing a web browser when nobody didn't really know what it was, or they had a go at writing new software and helping design the technology. And they're still all collaborating on that across the world, and the spirit of people doing things, all bringing their own particular talents, their own particular time and energy which they can put in, is what's really been all of the web's been all about. So yes, it's great. It's a great honour to have my name up, but you have to think that then in all these other letters, these go on all around the building and all around Sheen, with all the names of all the other people who've been helping do it. So anyways, great. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for celebrating Sheen. It was a great place to go up. Thanks, Mum and Dad, for. I wasn't around at the time. Everything he did from then on after I was actually born. The other three of us taking us down to the library, which is now, which was a much more modest building in those days, just behind us, taking up to Richmond Park, and doing all the things that you do in Sheen. Yeah, I think it would. It was a good choice. Yeah. All right. So,
Now, we ask questions.
I'm going to have the children answer. One question from an adult.
Thank you.
they're all
I just
children
wanted to
inside.
ask, given that the internet is for all of humanity, how do you feel about the fact that it's only available to about a third of humanity right now? And how can we get it to everyone?
So, good question. I couldn't have asked a better one myself. All the people I'm working with kind of noticed that too, that the web is only available to about a third of humanity. So, we started the World Wide Web Foundation, for example, webfoundation.org, which is really starting to address that. It's trying to address the fact that the web should serve humanity. Some of the things it's doing, it's just started a thing called the Alliance for the Affordable Internet, and that's an alliance between governments, or bits of governments, and companies, to try to just all collaborate to work out how, particularly in poorer countries, developing countries, you can get the on-ramp as low as possible, so that how can you get the cost of a phone which has got a web browser on it, which is the way most people get online in the poor, and the cost of a data plan, the initial data plan which allows you to get on the web, how you can get that down so you get many people. It's all about sort of affordable broadband and affordable mobile internet. So there's various projects around that. If you go and there's a web index. If you go to the webindex.org, that's also a neat place to look up how different countries are doing. We're trying to make people accountable and try and get the other 2/3 online if they want to, as quickly as possible.
How much money did it take to create the World Wide Web?
Well, it didn't really take sort of money directly. It took time, which, if you like, is money. I was really lucky because I was working in a scientific lab in Switzerland, where everybody was working on doing physics, which involved building lots of complicated machines, and we had lots of problems that needed the web to solve them. And so they let me, my boss, without really asking anybody else, he let me spend a couple of months sort of coding up, writing the code for the World Wide Web. So if you like, he gave me sort of 2 or 3 months of my time. So if you like, he had to put in the money that he put in was effectively letting me work for a couple of months to program it. And then after that, it started to take off, and then we had to sort of justify working on it because I already had a job. Then it was we never really got any money for the project. Unfortunately, would have been useful. All we got was people helping. So I did it as a volunteer sort of thing, and everybody else did it as a volunteer in different parts of the world. And then it must have been years before anybody actually did it officially because their manager told them to.
How many people did it take to design the web?
How many people did it take to design the web?
Well, to design it, basically me. You have to remember that computing had gone on. I've been working in computing for years. I'd worked with all kinds of, I'd worked with systems which are quite like the web, which particularly I'd worked with high-speed systems, things which have links, and those have been developed by other people. So it's a long history of people developing. And the way that computing works, the way that all these advances work, is that you build on what other people what other people have done. It's like, so the people who developed the internet, they developed like a platform, a solid platform for me to stand on and then build the web. And I tried to build the web as another platform for other people to build things on.